Hi students, in the last class we discussed about physical properties of metals and non-metals. In this class we will discuss about chemical properties. Chemical properties are the best indicators to classify elements as metals and non-metals. First we start with one of the chemical property, that is reaction of metals with acids. So first we start with one of the reaction of metal with acid. Now I will write a general equation for that. When metal reacts with acid, when a metal reacts with acid, what happens? When a metal reacts with acid, they form salt and hydrogen gas. This is the symbol. Upward arrow indicates hydrogen gas. That means it is a gas. When a metal reacts with acid, it forms salt and water. I will take one simple example. Can we give any example? The simple example for metal is sodium. Atomic number 11. You have simple example for acid, hydrochloric acid HCl. When sodium metal reacts with hydrochloric acid, sodium which is present in solid state, hydrochloric acid which is present in aqueous state, that means hydrochloric acid liquid is dissolved in water, we will call it as aqueous. Sodium metal reacts with hydrochloric acid, what happens? When these two reacts, this hydrogen displaces by sodium and forms sodium chloride. Here it forms H2, hydrogen gas. Here we have only one hydrogen on the left hand side. Here we have two hydrogens on the right hand side, H2. That's why now we balance that particular equation. 2Na plus 2HCl, which gives 2NaCl plus H2. 2Na, 2 sodium atoms, 2 sodium atoms. 2 chlorine atoms, 2 chlorine atoms. 2 chlorine. 2 hydrogen atoms, 2H. 2H is nothing but H2. Both are correct for balancing 2H, 2 hydrogen atoms, H2, 2 hydrogen atoms. So when sodium metal reacts with hydrochloric acid, that means when you, say for example, take a small beaker, test tube, this is take hydrochloric acid, this is hydrochloric acid. When you add sodium metals is look like cake. We can easily cut with chalk. A small piece of sodium metal is added to hydrochloric acid. What happened? Immediately sodium metal reacts with hydrochloric acid and forms sodium chloride, which is present in liquid state. What we call it as aqueous. That means which is present in the liquid form, not sodium chloride. We know already table salt, but it is not look like solid. It is present in the aqueous form in this particular situation. It exists as gas. So NaCl is a salt, hydrogen gas. So in the examination point of view, when metal reacts with acid, which gas is liberated? When metal reacts with acid, hydrogen gas is liberated. Which gas is released? Hydrogen gas is released. Okay. When metal reacts with acids, which gas is released? Hydrogen gas is released. Generally, next, reaction of non-metals with acids. Now we go for reaction of non-metals with acids. Okay. Is there any reaction between non-metals and acids? Actually, there is no reaction takes place between non-metals and acids. Non-metals plus acid, no reaction. Then they does not react with each other. No reaction. That means only metals reacts with acid to produce hydrogen. Say for example, two elements are given, one is A and another one is B. If A reacts with acid and produces hydrogen gas, then we will simply call it as A is a metal. B does not react with acid and does not produce any salt and water. Simply we will call it as B as non-metal. So this is about reaction of metals with acid. When a metal reacts with acid, it forms salt and hydrogen gas. Very, very important in the examination point of view for 2 marks questions. Write the chemical equation for reaction of acids with metals. Now we go for another chemical property. Second one is reaction of metals with oxygen. Now we go for the second property, reaction of metals with oxygen, reaction of non-metals with oxygen. We already discussed about reaction of metals with acids, reaction of non-metals with acids. Second property, reaction of metals with, I will classify like this, 2A. Reaction of metals with oxygen. This is one. Second one, reaction of non-metals with oxygen. Reaction of metals with oxygen, reaction of non-metals with oxygen. What happens when metal reacts with oxygen? What happens when non-metal reacts with oxygen? So simply take one simple example for metal, magnesium. Magnesium is for metal, atomic number 11. What is it? I will take an example of non-metal as sulfur. Sulfur, atomic number 16. Sulfur atomic number 16. So when magnesium ribbons are used in Diwali festival. Diwali festival, we are using magnesium ribbons. If you take magnesium ribbon, which is present in solid state, powder state, it is a magnesium present in solid state. When you burn, when magnesium ribbon burn, at the time of Diwali festival, when magnesium ribbon burns, that means it reacts with oxygen which is present in the air, oxygen which is in the form of gaseous state. When magnesium burns in the air, automatically it produces some white color ash powder on the earth surface. Its chemical formula is MgO, magnesium oxide. When magnesium metal reacts with oxygen gas, it produces magnesium oxide, white color ash. White color ash. Okay, white color ash, it is also present in solid state. This is called magnesium oxide. When magnesium reacts with oxygen to produce magnesium oxide. Here the chemical equation was not balanced. So for balancing this equation, 2Mg plus O2 which gives 2MgO. In your 9th class we will discuss about balancing of chemical equation. Just you listen that particular balancing. Reaction of metals with oxygen. Okay, now we go for when sulfur powder. Take sulfur powder in a Take sulfur powder in a deflagrating spoon. That is a spoon like this. Take sulfur powder in a deflagrating spoon. Deflagrating spoon. What is the use of deflagrating spoon? It is useful for burning of sulfur. It is easy for burning of sulfur when we are using deflagrating spoon instead of this type of spoon. If you use deflagrating spoon, we can burn sulfur very easily. Take sulfur powder in deflagrating spoon and introduce this particular deflagrating spoon on the spirit lamp or Bunsen burner or on your gas. Take precautions. Okay. If sulfur burns, immediately you will take that particular deflagrating spoon and put into a glass vessel. Fit a lid to that particular gas vessel. Take a vessel and dip that particular inside that particular deflagrating spoon and cover with the lid. What is the use of lid? It does not allow any gas from the inner surface of the vessel, from the inner of the vessel. There is no chance for escaping gases from that particular sulfur burning. No gas is not entertained into the atmosphere. Here lid covers that particular vessel. Okay, so here magnesium reacts with oxygen. Now I differentiate these two. Reaction of metals with oxygen, reaction of non-metals with oxygen. When a metal, magnesium reacts with oxygen, it produces magnesium oxide, white color ash. When a non-metal sulfur burns, it produces some gases. Okay, what are those? I will discuss. Okay, when sulfur burns, sulfur which is present in which state? Sulfur is present in solid state. Sulfur symbol as atomic number 16. Sulfur is present in solid state. When it reacts with oxygen, oxygen is nothing but O2 which is present in gaseous state. When sulfur reacts with oxygen, it produces sulfur dioxide. Sometimes when sulfur reacts with excess of oxygen, there is a chance of producing sulfur trioxide also. Sulfur dioxide is a gas. It is a gas. SO2 is a gas. Sulfur trioxide is also a gas. When sulfur reacts with oxygen, it produces sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide. When sulfur reacts with excess of oxygen, it produces sulfur trioxide. Okay. Here magnesium oxide is formed. When magnesium reacts with oxygen, magnesium oxide is formed. When non-metal sulfur reacts with oxygen, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide are formed. Okay, now what we will do? Now take this particular white hash. This is water. Dissolve this particular MgO, magnesium oxide, white hash. Dissolve this particular white hash into 100 ml of water. Okay, you will get a new type of solution. You will get a new type of solution. Okay, when you dissolve magnesium oxide in water, you will get a new type of solution. You will get a new type of solution. So now test this particular solution with the help of litmus papers. In your 7th class, we have already an idea about litmus papers, blue litmus paper, litmus paper. Test with litmus paper. I already given one code for you. ABR. A for acid, B for blue, R for red. Acids converts blue litmus to red, ABR. A for acid, B for blue, R for red. Acids converts blue litmus paper to red. When you dip, okay, take some amount of this solution into one beaker, remaining amount of solution into another beaker. Take two type of litmus paper. One is blue litmus paper, dip in this particular solution. Another one is red litmus paper, dip in this particular solution for test for acid or base. Here we observed that blue litmus paper does not changes to red color. This particular solution, when you dip red litmus paper into this particular metal hydroxide solution, the color of red litmus paper changes to blue color. Here the color of blue litmus paper does not changes to red color. This indicates that metal hydroxide is having basic nature. From that what we concluded that metal oxides are basic in nature. Okay, very important bit. What is the nature of metal oxides? Basic nature. What is the nature of metal oxides? Basic nature. Very important bit. That means when you dissolve metal oxide in water, we will get a basic solution. Okay, now we go for another chemical property, that is 2B. Already we discussed something about this particular one in the comparative study. Reaction of non-metals. Reaction of non-metals with oxygen. We already discussed something about this particular one. Already we taken deflagrating spoon, and in that particular deflagrating spoon we had taken sulfur powder and introduced it on the spirit lamp. After burning takes place, we are introduced into a jar which is covered with the lid. After that, remove the deflagrating spoon. Remove the deflagrating spoon from the jar and close with the lid. Again open the lid, add some amount of water to that particular jar. That means after burning of sulfur powder, some gases are released. Those gases are called sulfur dioxide and sulfur dioxide. That means already in the jar sulfur dioxide, sulfur trioxide are there. Slowly we remove the lid and add some amount of water and close the lid. This is the lid. Close the lid. Immediately what happens in the reaction? In that particular sulfur dioxide gas which is present in the jar reacts with water coming from the outside. When sulfur dioxide gas reacts with water and produces H2SO3. sulfurous acid. Sulfurous acid, the name itself indicates it is an example for acid. Again, when sulfur trioxide reacts with water, sulfur trioxide is a gas, water is a liquid. When sulfur trioxide dissolved in water, it forms sulfuric acid, H2SO4. It is sulfuric acid, H2SO4, sulfuric acid, H2SO3, sulfurous acid. Both are acids. That means what we concluded, that when a non-metal reacts with oxygen, it forms non-metal oxide. When non-metal oxide dissolves in water, it produces acid or base. It produces acid. So, what are the conclusions we taken from this particular two reactions is, simply, I will write simply it like that. When a metal reacts with metal plus oxygen, which gives metal oxide. When a metal reacts with oxygen, it forms metal oxide. When a metal oxide dissolved in water, it produces base. It produces base. When a non-metal reacts with oxygen, it produces non-metal oxide. Metal plus oxygen, metal oxide. Non-metal plus oxygen, it produces non-metal oxide, not non-metal oxygen, not metal oxygen, non-metal oxide. So when this non-metal oxide dissolved in water, whether it may be gas or something dissolved in water, it produces which solution? What is the nature of that solution? Acid. It produces acid. So finally what we concluded, that the nature of metal oxides are, so from this what we concluded, that a simple box point, metal oxides nature is basic, very important bit. Basic nature. What is the nature of metal oxides? Basic nature. What is the nature of non-metal oxides? What is the nature of non-metal oxides? Acidic nature. So, from this acidity and basicity concept, we can classify elements as metals and non-metals. Say for example, you don't know, you taken two elements A and B. You don't know whether it is a metal or non-metal. Simply, you react with oxygen, that particular A and B, and dissolved in water. If you get basic solution, we will call it as that particular A is base. Otherwise, you will get acidic solution, you will call it as A as non-metal. So based upon the chemical properties also, we can classify elements as metals and non-metals. This is about reaction of metals with oxygen, reaction of non-metals with oxygen. Now we go for third chemical property, that is reaction of metals with water, reaction of non-metals with water. Reaction of metals with water, reaction of non-metals with water. Third A. Reaction of metals with water. Reaction of metals with water. So here we already discussed in the first chemical property, reaction of acids with metals. There is a reaction between acids with metals. There is no reaction between acids and non-metals. Like that also, there is no reaction between non-metals and water. We are only discussing about reaction of metals with water. There is no reaction between, generally non-metals does not react with water. So, non-metal plus water, no reaction. So simply, no reaction. Okay, what happens when a metal reacts with water? Okay, when a metal reacts with water, metal plus water, what happens? When metal reacts with water, what happens? When metal reacts with water, it produces metal hydroxide. And again, basic solution. Metal hydroxide. Hydroxide, the name itself indicates The name itself indicates is a basic solution. Whenever you hear the word hydroxide, we will call it as basic solution. Okay, now I will take an example. Sodium as a metal, it is a very, very important metal, sodium atomic number 11, which is present in solid state, which is present in the laboratory. You never kept sodium in water. Why? Because sodium is highly reactive towards water. When you place a small piece of sodium metal in water, immediately it will burn. It will blast the building also. A small piece of sodium metal. That's why we never kept sodium metal in water. Okay. We can kept sodium metal in only in kerosene. Okay, we can kept sodium metal in kerosene. When sodium metal reacts with water, it forms sodium hydroxide. It forms sodium hydroxide. It is a basic solution. The nature of sodium hydroxide we can test with litmus paper. Immediately blue litmus paper does not change with that particular solution, but red litmus paper changes into blue color. This is the indication of basic solution. Okay, what we concluded that when a metal reacts with water, it produces metal hydroxide. The nature of metal hydroxide is basic in nature. There is no reaction between non-metal and water. Okay, these are the three chemical properties. First one is reaction of metals with acids, reaction of non-metals with acids. Second one, reaction of metals with oxygen, reaction of metals with non-metals with oxygen. Third one, reaction of metals with water, reaction of non-metals with water. Okay, based upon these three chemical properties, we can classify elements as metals and non-metals. Okay, this is about chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Okay, now we go for, I will ask one question for you. Is our human body is a metal or non-metal? Okay, I will explain very, very important bit. Our human body is a metal or non-metal? This topic is there in your syllabus in the box point. Is our human body is a metal or non-metal? Question mark. Is our human body is a metal or non-metal? Okay, on what basis we can decide our human body is a metal or non-metal means? That means the major elements which are present in our body are metals or non-metal. Let me discuss. In our human body, the majority of the major mass of the element present is oxygen. In our human body, the element which present in higher mass, that means the element which is present in higher amount is oxygen. About 65%. If you take it as 100%, in 100%, only oxygen occupies 65%. Second one, carbon. It is having 18%. Oxygen 65%, carbon 18%. Third one, hydrogen 10%. Fourth one, nitrogen, very, very important bit, nitrogen 3%. Next, calcium 1.5%. Very, very important bits. Percentage is also important. Calcium. Final one, phosphorus. Phosphorus 1.0% or 1%. Okay. So this data is given in your textbook. The major element which is present in our body is oxygen, second carbon, third hydrogen, fourth nitrogen, fifth calcium, sixth phosphorus. Among all these, the only metal is calcium. Calcium is a metal. Remaining all are non-metals. Oxygen is a non-metal. Carbon is a non-metal. Hydrogen is a non-metal. It is a gas. Nitrogen is a non-metal gas. Phosphorus, it is a solid which is a non-metal. So here important bits are the element which is present in higher amount in our body. The element which is present higher amount in our body. Our body is the element which is present in higher amount. The element which is present in higher amount, present higher amount in your body is, based upon the percentage we can easily decide oxygen is the element which is present in higher amount. Next, very important bit. The non-metal which is present in higher amount in our body is, among all the elements, those are non-metals. Oxygen is a non-metal, carbon is a non-metal, hydrogen is a non-metal, nitrogen is a non-metal, phosphorus is a non-metal. So among oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen and phosphorus, which element is present in higher amount? Again oxygen. So the element which is present, non-metal, that means in our body, the non-metal which is present in higher amount is again oxygen. Very important bit. In our human body, the metal which is present in higher amount is, very important bit. In our human body, the metal which is present in higher amount is nothing but calcium. In our human body, once I will repeat again because it is very important. The metal which is present in higher amount in our body is calcium. That means metal is calcium. Metal is calcium. So here we have three bits. The element which is present in higher amount in your body is oxygen. The non-metal which is present in higher amount is oxygen. The metal which is present higher amount in our body is calcium. Next, after oxygen, which element present as higher amount in our body? It is nothing but carbon. The second highest element is carbon. So finally what we concluded that this, if you carry this particular one, it is approximately 99%. In 99%, only 1.5% is only metals are present. Remaining all are non-metals. Oxygen 65%, it is a non-metal. Carbon 18%, it is a non-metal. Hydrogen 10%, it is also a non-metal. Nitrogen 3%, it is also a non-metal. Phosphorus 1%, it is also a non-metal. That means our human body is a non-metal. Very important bit. Our human body is a non-metal because majority of the elements present in our body is non-metals. Majority of elements present in our body are non-metals. Those are oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, phosphorus. Okay, in this class, what we discussed in this class? In this class, simply we discussed about chemical properties of metals and non-metals. It is new for you. Just listen and practice. Okay, in the chemical properties we discussed about reactions. Reaction of metals with acids, reaction of non-metals with acids, reaction of metals with oxygen, reaction of non-metals with oxygen, reaction of metals with water, reaction of non-metals with water. Then finally we discussed about a small topic, very interesting topic, is our human body is a metal or non-metal. Finally we concluded that our human body is a non-metal and the element which is present higher amount in our body is oxygen. The non-metal which is present higher amount in our body is oxygen. The metal which is present higher amount in our body is calcium. Thank you so much.